We're live on air. As always, it's Saturday afternoon and you're here with SSTV, Soccer Sanchez TV, myself, Soccer Sanchez, as always, with Stuart. How are you, Stuart?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Looking forward to the first game of the season.
I'm about to ask you, are you excited about the beginning of the Premier League season? Obviously, last weekend was the Championship, but
well, who isn't? With the amount of transfer activity going on over the summer, I'm sure we can expect a really entertaining start to the season and see how the players adjust to coming to the Premier League.
To be fair, we've already started, and what a start has been. Hull City beating the champions Leicester 2-1. I thought it was a pretty good performance from Hull, and they played Leicester City at their own game.
Yeah, they did. We were watching it together, and then we saw towards the end how Hull were just sitting back and hitting on the counter-attack, just what Leicester were doing to a lot of teams last season, using Mahrez and Vardy's pace to hit them on the counter-attack. That's what worked for them very well towards the end of the latter half of the season last year, and it worked wonders, and hence they were champions.
It worked really well today. That first goal, Hernandez, overhead kick, double touch, who knows, but yeah, fantastic. The Leicester City, I don't think you saw the foul, did you? Led up to the penalty.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a foul. Anyway, Hull City 2-1, first game of the season. The other games are about to kick off anytime soon, so I want to do a quick preview on our thoughts on who the top 7 of the Premier League might be at the end of the year, and maybe a quick chat on the relegation candidates as well. Let's just go straight to it. I just want to start off first with the top 4. I think Man City will win the league this season, followed by Manchester United. I think it'll be quite a close affair. Arsenal, third place in my opinion. They haven't really bought many players, but I think with Wenger's record and the way Arsenal seem to pull things off, I think they'll make it. Tottenham, I know it's been a bit quite controversial on Twitter whenever I mention this. I think Tottenham will reach top 4. Let's start off with your top 4 then. Who would yours be?
Well, I've got the same top 2 there that you put down. I've got City and United dominating the Premier League this season. And third place, I've got Chelsea. I think with the expertise of Conte, we all know how good he's been as a manager. He's kind of gave Italy a new identity of playing football, and I think he'll bring that kind of talent and that know-how to Chelsea. And last spot, I've got Tottenham actually. So I think Arsenal this season, I know everyone counts them out every season because of the lack of star signings, but I think this season it might hurt them because I think the other teams around there have upped their game in the transfer window, and Arsenal just yet, at this point in time, they haven't signed anyone that's caught the eye, other than Granit Xhaka, who had a good Euros. But other than him, I don't see who else they've signed that could change things and get them to push on to a bigger level. But the other teams around them have definitely upped their game.
I think what we are definitely in agreement with, probably the majority of football Premier League fans as well, is that there will be a battle between Manchester City and Manchester United. And the subplot really are these two here, Mourinho and Guardiola. Lock horns again after their stint in Spain. Obviously Guardiola was the manager of Barcelona and Mourinho took over Real Madrid. There were a couple of incidents during that period of time which saw a lot of criticism head towards Mourinho's behaviour, the way he is. Personally speaking, I think he's like that because he's never been a football player. That's a personal opinion of mine. It's just the way he acts sometimes. It's just his emotions just get the better of him and he does certain things. But yeah, I mean, looking at the teams for this season, let's have a look here. Manchester City have bought quite a substantial names here. Ilkay Gundogan from Borussia Dortmund was bought for 21 million. We've got Leroy Sané, who's potentially very good. He is a very good winger. Whether he lives up to expectations in the next couple of years, we'll see. But he's been brought in from Schalke for 37 million. John Stones, it was always on the cards because we've spoken about this before that he might be going to Man City. But 47.5 million, if I'm not mistaken, makes him the second highest expensive defender in the world.
Yeah, and I don't think he's worth that much money. Probably the fact that he's English and playing in the Premier League has contributed to a large part of that. He's good. There's no taking away. He's a good defender. He's very good on the ball, very calm, collected. That can sometimes lead him to potentially be exposed in certain situations when players closing down.
Not a lot last season.
Yeah, not last season. Maybe he wasn't. He was disenchanted with life at Goodison Park. Maybe now that he's at Man City with a high caliber players, he might up his game. But I mean, obviously he is young. He's got a lot of potential, and they've obviously seen that at Man City, and they've gone for him. And I think that for me is going to be one of the reasons why City win the league for me. Because last season we saw when Company was injured, there was no one really to fill that gap in, apart from Demichelis and the other defender, and Otamendi. Otamendi was also caught napping at times. But I think now that John Stones is there, with obviously his Premier League experience over the last 2 seasons, and with Company, if he stays fit, Company or Otamendi, I think John Stones might, with his pace, he might get Otamendi out of trouble at some points in the game. So I think they've probably got the strongest team in this Premier League this season, I think.
I mean, it is, for someone of John Stones' age and quality and experience so far in his career, it's a massive responsibility, don't you think? I mean, when you consider firstly the price tag. I know people will say though the price tag shouldn't mean how well or badly a player should be rated, but the price tag is a lot of money. And for someone who hasn't won any honours or done anything internationally, it is a hell of a big ask to ask him to step into that centre-back pairing, whoever he plays with, and firstly cover Company whenever he's injured, because he's constantly beat on the sidelines. Demichelis is gone now. Mangala, again on and off, jury's still out on him. Has the physique and the power, but the intelligence in reading the game isn't his strong point. And also Otamendi, whilst he is the strongest of what was there last season, again he was subject to errors here and there. Do you think Stones can live up to that expectation, or, in my opinion, I think that kind of expectation affected someone like Raheem Sterling last season. Again, 40 million plus, I think they bought him for. Really didn't do much, or what was expected of him. Do you think that will happen to Stones?
I don't think so, because in defence you've got players with a vast experience like Company. Sterling hasn't got that in that position. Someone in the midfield to maybe guide him during the game. But Stones has the advantage of having Company there alongside him if that's the pairing they're going to go with at City. So I think that would come in handy and might serve him well this season, having someone with the wise tactical nous of Company and intelligence to get him through games, and he'll learn from that. Yeah,
I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, do you think John Stones can live up to expectations and bring Man City to a better level defensively? Let us know. Send us a comment if you're watching live. And also, just to round off the Man City chat, Guardiola was the favourite to be Man City manager for the last 2 or 3 years. It was expected. We were speaking about it for the first episode we started doing this vlog. So the owners have got their man, and likewise, similarly, Manchester United have also got their man. Mourinho, Manchester United, their names have been brandished about quite a lot over the last 3 or 4 years. Even prior to Mourinho's return to Chelsea from Real Madrid, he's in there now. Again, they backed him, not like they backed Moyes, but they backed Mourinho.
They trust him. They trust him.
Yeah, well, obviously, it's obvious why they trust him, but it is crazy how Mourinho can't have success unless he has that money. Paul Pogba, world record fee, £89 million, returning to Manchester United. Great signing. I think it shows real intent from them. Not just the Pogba signing, but the Ibrahimovic one. I know they've also got Eric Bailey and Mkhitaryan.
We think that's how you say it.
We think that's how you say it. But I think Pogba and Ibrahimovic are a real statement of intent. The board tried to do it with Falcao. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Also, Di Maria, that didn't work out either. Pogba and Ibrahimovic are winners. I think Pogba's won the Italian league the last 3 or 4 years. He's been there. Ibrahimovic has won a league every time he's been anywhere, in any club he's been to. So I think that trio, Mourinho, Ibrahimovic and Pogba, is going to make a massive difference to that team.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the Mkhitaryan signing, I would like to see how that works out more than any other signing. I know people say, I can't wait to see Pogba playing or Ibrahimovic playing in the Premier League, but Mkhitaryan was probably the best player in the Bundesliga last season, and I'm really curious to see how he does at United. We saw how Kagawa didn't really work out from Dortmund to United.
Yeah, that's another one.
So I think he was unfairly labelled as being not good enough. I think Mkhitaryan will show how how players from Bundesliga can make the transition to the Premier League without too much fuss. And he's a player I highly rate, and he scores goals for fun.
Yeah, I mean, do you, for example, I agree with that, but do you think that means it's the end of Juan Mata, for example?
Yeah, I think pretty much. I don't know.
After what happened to Charity,
Community I don't know what happened. He got subbed. He was
a sub that came on, then he got subbed off.
But why did he get subbed off? I didn't really see the game.
It wasn't. I don't really explain. I mean, during the commentary of the game, they were saying it might be an injury to Mata. It seemed a bit more than that. Mourinho did console him, did speak to Mata as he come off. So it wasn't, one of the dodgy ones where they come off and they get angry and whatever. But I don't know. But I mean, I feel sorry for him.
I mean, it's kind of obvious that if he doesn't fancy him at Chelsea, why would he fancy him at United?
Yeah, true. I mean, and that's the thing. He was having probably the best time of his career at Chelsea. Won Player of the Year 2 seasons in a row. I think he'd won the Champions League in his first year with Chelsea.
Yeah.
Done really, really well. But yeah, it just didn't work out. Doesn't work out with Mourinho, and only time we'll tell, I guess.
Well, we'll see, because I mean, Mata, he might struggle in the team with pace, and we obviously have that with Mkhitaryan, and well, it depends who you have on the left wing, Ashley Young potentially, or if he's going to play Rashford on the wing, we don't know.
And that's another thing with Ibrahimovic there.
Yeah.
Firstly, what's going on with Rooney? What's going to happen with him? Will Rashford get an opportunity, as much opportunity as he did last season?
I think
should he be loaned? And Anthony Martial as well.
Yeah.
Do you think these young players are going to be affected by the fact that Ibrahimovic is coming?
Yeah, potentially. Obviously, yeah, Mourinho's been there and done that before with management and able to fit players in and keep players happy on the sidelines. But yeah, it's a good point to make. I don't see Matt staying past this transfer window. So yeah, I'll see him. I'll probably see him leaving to Spain, La Liga.
And the other strikers will stay with Man United. They'll probably stay, won't they?
Yeah, they haven't got too much depth, I don't think, up front. Apart from
Rooney, Ibrahimovic, Rashford, Martial, and that's it.
Yeah, but Martial, he's been playing. Well, he played under Van Gaal on the wings. I'd like to see him playing up front, to be honest.
He played up front with Monaco when he first started in Monaco, anyway. And then obviously when Falcao got signed, he got sort of pushed out to the wing. And Falcao left, and he got pushed back into the middle again. But I mean, yeah, there's that trend, isn't there? We've spoken about this before, where there's the inside forward. They play on the wings, but essentially they move inside to allow for the wing backs to push up as well. Very similar to how Tottenham play. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a tough season for Ibrahimovic, personally speaking. He's got a lot to prove. He's not a spring chicken anymore. Undoubtedly, he'd be very good because he's Ibrahimovic. But it'd be very interesting to see if he steers away from any injuries, any disciplinary problems in the Premier League, because it will be quite a different atmosphere to what he's normally used to. As you were speaking before, I mean, I believe the third team will be Arsenal. Stuart thinks Chelsea.
Yeah.
Like I said before, they'll do it because they always do it. Wenger's got this touch where he could just get into the Champions League whenever he feels like it. I do agree with the fact that they probably do need some more signings. Granit Xhaka's a good signing, £34 million centre midfield player, good ball skills, not bad in the tackle as well. But they do need something more substantial. I heard yesterday they were in talks with Mustafi to bring back centre back cover for I think Gabriel's the only fit defender.
Yeah, they had a few injuries
at the moment, and I think Mertesacker was the latest man to be ruled out. So yeah, I think Arsenal do need to bring on a few more players and find out what's they need something.
Yeah, they need a world class striker. Giroud's up front on his own without the support. You won't win your league. I don't know who they've been linked with this summer. They'll probably be linked with other great players.
To Arsenal?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the one that keeps ringing, the one that keeps going around is the Lacazette story.
Lacazette,
but the Lacazette, again, it seems as if Arsenal are kind of stalling on it. Who knows if they're going to complete it? But again, it seems to be Wenger and money is an issue, and as always, the fans are happy as always. The only beast around. How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. The scores at the moment in the Premier League anyway. Everton are leading Tottenham by 1-0. That goal was scored by Barkley after 5 minutes. Middlesbrough are 1-0 up against Stoke. That goal was Alvaro Negredo on 11 minutes, so a debut goal for him. The only other scoreline coming in here is Watford 1. Southampton 0, Watford 1. Capoue on target there for Watford. Ex-Spurs man, yeah. So interesting results so far. As we carry on then, so Arsenal, in my opinion, third place. Chelsea, you think are going to come third. Tell me what you think, why you think they're going to come third, and what you think of Conte as the new manager.
Yeah, I mean, I think apart from those two teams at the top, City and United, I think Chelsea are probably the other team with the most transfer activity, I would say. With star signings like Batshuayi, he's a very well talented player in Europe. Linked to Everton, but I think he probably thought he can hold out for a bigger team, and yes, well we have him signed for Chelsea this transfer window. Also, N'Golo Kante, don't know, is he going to be the sort of player he was at Leicester City? I think he probably will be, and he's a player that probably
and more. And more. He's going to get a lot better playing with the players that he has got around him at Chelsea.
And yeah, I just think Chelsea with the kind of forwards they have with Costa, Remy is a French player, but I think Costa, if he stays, he's a kind of player I think that he needs an arm around. I think Conte will be the man to do that, to give him an arm around and give him a nice talking to when he needs it. And yeah, I just think that Costa, once he's up for it, he'll be scoring goals for fun again. And yeah, I just think those two players will definitely make the mark at Chelsea and get them to the top three.
I agree with the Kante thing. I think he's going to make a massive difference to that Chelsea team. Similarly to how when Makelele was there, because he's kind of doing the job at the back, cleaning up the balls.
Well, Kante does more than that. He covers ground and he also sets up play as well.
But that's what I'm saying. Similar to that, but he's going to become even more of a player.
Yeah.
Obviously with Conte, Conte is very tactically astute. Will bring a lot more to the team. But the reason why I don't think they're going to make top four is what you mentioned there, Costa, the strikers. There is no striker there. For a team to be successful at the top, you need to have someone who's going to score the goals.
Well, Costa will score. He scored a great first season, didn't he?
First off, he's injured too much.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to score as many goals as he did last season.
Well, what about Batshuayi?
Batshuayi is new to the league. I doubt he's going to score 20 goals plus. I mean, when have you seen a teenager come in or a young player come into the Premier League and score 20 goals plus in their first season? It's very rare. Very rare to happen.
I've seen him in a few games and I was really impressed, but that's another league and it's not,
Clinton NJ scored 11 goals before he signed for us, and he barely played for us last season because he just doesn't have the quality. So the jury will be out on this. But again, you can contradict me in the sense that Didier Drogba was banging in goals in the French league. Look what he did when he got to Chelsea. But again, that's why Chelsea got to where they were, because they had someone who scored goals regularly.
Yeah.
I don't think Costa will score that many goals. He doesn't seem happy there. There's too many rumours saying he wants to leave and go back to Spain. His attitude last season was terrible. He wasn't really the Costa of what we've seen before.
But that's what I think with the new manager, we'd have probably had an arm around him over the summer, telling him how valued he is to the team and how crucial he is to his plans.
I mean, tell us, do you think Costa will still do the business the coming season, or is he likely to leave, or do Chelsea need a striker? Vardy and Kane proved how vital it is to have someone to score goals regularly. Chelsea need that this season. I don't think they're going to have that, and I don't think they're going to finish top four. Also, there's a question mark around other players like Oscar, Matic, Pedro, Cuadrado, whether they're going to stick around. And again, if they do go, who are they going to replace them with? All these questions. There's too many questions for me to be able to be confident in Chelsea finishing top four. But again, this is football, and Hull City probably win the league. So that's your third place team. That was my fifth place team. Fourth, we both agreed Tottenham.
Yeah.
Great team last season. Young, could only get better. They've got more experience now, especially from what happened to them at the end of the last 2 months of last season.
Dele Alli, I expect him to have a great season this season as well.
He scored 10-11 goals last year in his first season there.
Vincent Wanyama will add still to that midfield.
And he's been fantastic so far. I know they're in friendlies, but you can see the difference that he brings in. He does bring a big difference to that midfield too. Vincent Janssen's been brought in for 18 million. I'm happy that we got a striker. I'm not sure how good he's going to be.
Could be another Clinton NG.
Could be. He's got a bit more experience than Clinton has. He reminds me of Van Nistelrooy in terms of physicality and the positions he gets in the box. But the jury is out on him. He is essentially the Dutch Jamie Vardy. Was playing second division a couple of years ago, so it will be interesting to see. And despite the signings, there's only been a couple. I think those two. I'm not that worried because it's what Pochettino said in the press conference is very true. Other teams are buying and spending crap loads of money on players because they're scared. They're worried. They don't think they have squads good enough to be able to compete. Hence, Pogba and Bailey and Mkhitaryan and Ibrahimovic. Man City again, good against Sané, Stones, Gabriel Jesus, Manuel Moreno. Like These teams are just running scared of the fact that they don't think they have the players well enough or good enough to be able to get them up there. Pochettino is confident. Part of that statement is also to the fact that I don't think Levy wants to spend money. New stadium coming up and all. This is the last season of White Hart Lane. Will be a very interesting year to see how that young team can kick on, and hopefully whether they can stick together, in the future. But yeah, Tottenham to be my 4th place team. So just coming out of that Europa League qualification,
you had Chelsea as 5th.
I had Chelsea as 5th. You had Arsenal as 5th.
Yeah, well, I've got them finishing. Just outside.
You've got them as 5th. We're both in agreement that Liverpool will finish 6th. Jurgen Klopp will have his first full season as a Liverpool manager with the right tactics he wants to implement. He's got the pre-season to be able to do that. He's done that now. Last season they were finalists twice, weren't they? And lost both. Good experience for him. He wouldn't be happy about that. But if anything, they'll do one better. And personally speaking, although they won't finish top 4 in my opinion, I think they will win a cup. What is your take on Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool this year?
I think they're lacking that star signing. They've got some decent signings in like Wijnaldum had a good season at Newcastle. Even though they went down, he probably was one of the players that stood out from the rest of the bad bunch. But I was only going to say I'm actually sad to see them letting go of Sergio Canos and João Teixeira. Maybe he saw them pre-season and thought they're not going to be the players that he needs.
They're very technically gifted.
Yeah, I saw him at Brighton last season. He was very good. And same with Canos. He had a great first competitive season in the Premier League, and he was also really impressive for Brentford. And I saw him play. He played some really good games, scored some really good goals. And I thought that he might have taken a gamble on Canos especially. But I think if Brendan was there, he would have probably stuck with one of those two. But obviously, Klopp didn't fancy it and got rid of them. But yeah, I think there probably is a capacity for one more star signing there at Liverpool.
They were unlucky, didn't they? Because they bought a goalkeeper, didn't they?
From Mainz.
And he got injured in the first training session or friendly or something. Like you said, they bought Sadio Mane and Wijnaldum. I think for a total of around about £50 million, which is a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah. For
those 2 players who really haven't done anything in their careers, to be honest. But yeah, it will be interesting to see how they do. I think there is still a question mark. As I mentioned there, the keeper they signed got injured. The keeper that's there now, Sami Mignolet, although he was first team last year. Yeah, Liverpool fans are asking big questions of him.
Quite some time now.
Yeah, he's very on and off, very inconsistent. It will be interesting to see what they do about that. Whether Klopp goes into the transfer market and gets another signing for a goalkeeper. I think Alex Manninger was also...
he's been signed, yeah.
He's also been signed up as well, so God knows what their formation is going to be. There's a lot of goalkeepers there. And yeah, as I mentioned, Jurgen Klopp needs to stamp his authority on that team and to kind of show the rest of the world what he can do outside of Borussia Dortmund, really, because this is his first real test. And then I think in 7th place, final European qualification, regardless of all the other intrusions such as cup wins and things like that, Leicester City. The loss of Kante is huge, in my opinion. I think today it showed it against Hull. They were run ragged really in the middle of midfield. Hull City playing them at their own game, as I said earlier in the video. Coming through the middle a lot. Kante will be missed. He was the main, in my opinion, he was the reason why Leicester didn't lose last year. I'm not saying he was the reason why they won, because he didn't score goals for that.
But he did a job that most people don't want to do.
Exactly, and he did it very well.
And also did more.
And more so, exactly. And I just think he was the reason why Leicester didn't lose so many games. This year, game number 1, they've lost against Hull. Kind of says it all, really.
It's only the first game of the season, to be honest.
True,
give them a few weeks.
But it's significant, in my opinion. It's significant.
Really? No, I don't pay too much importance to the first game. I think after 1 month, then I'll start paying attention to the results. And I think I've got them finishing, mid-table. I just don't think they'll finish in the top 7. Top 7. I think they'll probably struggle.
Okay.
I've got top 7. I've got 7th spot. I've got West Ham. I think they've got Payet. Obviously has another great season. They've got Andre Ayew. That kind of rate man, right?
Jonathan Kayeni, we've been banging on about him for so long now.
Yeah, but I don't know. Kayeni, I don't know. He might be a good player. Might be a good sign. I don't know.
We'll see.
There were links with Baka. I don't know if that's still on or that's still ongoing, but I kind of think that it's not going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen now.
But yeah, still even with that back, I still see West Ham finishing 7th. Plus the new stadium they've got, maybe the extra capacity, new surroundings might, sort of re-energise players.
True.
Yeah, I think they finished 7th. That's my verdict.
True. That's not a bad shout. Leicester. I'm just putting Leicester there because they're champions and they've still got the spine of the team, which is the important thing. Which is essentially Schmeichel, Morgan, Drinkwater, Vardy, and Mahrez. Those are the main players last season. They should be the main players this season. So really interesting to see. A quick word on being as your championship aficionado. The 3 teams that have come up. Quick word on them.
I think Hull. Well, I was surprised they won. First game of the season. Apparently, the first time that a promoted team has won it since 2012 when West Ham did it.
Yep.
I think they'll struggle. They haven't got a permanent manager. I don't think Phelan is the permanent manager, is he?
No, they've got a permanent manager and only 13 players fit.
Yeah, and also they haven't really signed that many players because of the uncertainty at manager level.
Yeah.
So I've got Hull potentially to go back down. Burnley, I think it depends on how good Andre Gray is at this level. You smashed it in the Championship, but Premier League as a whole, kettle of fish. I don't think without the star signings they've had, they haven't really had any signings. I think they're relying on the backbone of the team they had in the Championship. I think out of all the 3 teams that went up, I'll probably say Burnley are the only ones that will have the potential to stay up. That's my opinion. Borough. I think Borough. I don't know. Borough have had some good signings as well.
9 new players in the starting lineup today.
Yeah, I don't know. Not many players. Depends on how well Karaka can gel them into a team that quickly. It seems like they've got to a good start with Negredo scoring the first goal in their campaign. But yeah, I mean them. I don't know. Probably out of all the 3, them or Burnley. Yeah, they'll stay up. I think West Brom might be surprise contenders for relegation this season.
I have to agree with that.
West Brom and Sunderland.
Yeah.
I think only one of those top teams will be going down.
Yeah, I think Watford are going to struggle this season without Kike Sanchez.
To be honest, yeah.
I think he made a big difference for them last season.
Yeah, they've got Walter Matsari. I think he's odds on to be sacked first managerial casualty.
Really?
Yeah.
And Swansea, in my opinion, could be a relegation candidates.
Don't know. They've made some decent signings.
But yeah, I agree with you that there. I think Burnley and Middlesbrough will be fine this season. They'll stay up. Hull City, despite their fantastic win today, I don't see a future with them in the Premier League. But anyway, that's our thoughts. Let us know what you think. Leave us a comment on the video. Please visit our website, soccersanchez.com. Like, subscribe, share, and enjoy the new season. We can't wait. Before we go, a quick rundown on the scores so far. As you know, Hull beat Leicester City 2-1. Goals there from for Leicester was from Mahrez penalty. Hull City had goals from Diamande and Snodgrass. Everton are 1-0 up. Barkley, who scored the goal after 5 minutes. Alvaro Negredo got his Middlesbrough career off to a good start with a goal in 11 minutes. Middlesbrough 1-0 up against Stoke City. And the only other scoreline I can see here, Southampton at home to Watford. Capoue scoring after 9 minutes. There are your scorelines. Afternoon game, 5:30, Man City Sunderland. Make sure you catch it. But anyway, as from us, as always, been lovely. See you next week. Please leave a comment and all that. It's been emotional. Goodbye.
Bye bye. Take care.